Hello students and welcome to this explanation of question 1 on material purchase budgets. So the question reads that Delicious Delight manufacturers are setting their material budget for the year ending 31st December 2021. The entity specializes in the production of chocolate bars. They produce a single product which is a milk chocolate bar. You have been appointed as their management accountant and it is your task to ensure that all budgets are completed timeously. The following information is made available to you. They've given you sales estimates for the year of 2021, and it is stated there that they estimate that there will be 100,000 milk chocolate bars to be sold. In the second additional note, you are told that material requirements are, and this should be, there's a little typing error there, two main ingredients. The chocolate bars are produced from two main ingredients, milk and cacao, and the following indicates the material requirements for a chocolate bar. In the first instance, we need milk, which is 200 milliliters for a bar. And then we need cacao, which is 300 grams per bar. The milk is purchased at 12 Rand per liter, and the cacao is purchased at 5 Rand per kilogram. So now we are already faced here with some conversions, because you will see that there's milliliters and the price is in liters. There is grams and the price is in kilograms. The rule is that we need to convert, and we convert to the largest measurement. So we will be converting to liters and to kilograms because those are bigger than milliliters and grams. Then with closing inventory, we have the opening stock because this is 31st December 2020, which is basically the same information as per 1 January 2021. And then we have the year end, which is 31st December. They've given us milk, cacao, and they've also given us the chocolate bars. So the chocolate bars represent the finished goods. So the finished goods, of course, those goods that you will be disposing of, that you will be selling, which is represent your inventory so that you can make sales. It says in the required part, you need to complete the material purchases budget for the year ended 31st December 2020. All right, great. So where do I start? I start with my template. I've shared to Vutela the template that I prescribe for material purchases. I like this template because it sequences the information. So the information is already given to you in, or the template is sequenced in a way that information is given to you on a step-by-step basis. So you use your answer of the previous step in the next step. So I'm just going to copy this template onto a new Excel spreadsheet, which will become now our memorandum. So the first step is that you always have to calculate the production units. And please note that even in the required part of the question, you are not told that you need to be doing this step 1. So they don't tell you in the required part, please calculate the production units. No, you need to know. In order to be able to answer the required part and complete a material purchases budget, you need to do this calculation first. In some instances, however, the lecturer may allocate lesser marks to this portion of the calculation. So we may already tell you, suppose production units are this, or suppose production units equal this. So we may give you the answer as well, but typically you are not given the answer and you need to do this calculation. So the product that we are working with in this question is the milk chocolate bars. And then we have two materials. The materials that we are using to make the bars will be milk and it will be the cacao. Right, great. So let's see. We need to start with the sales units and minus the opening stock of finished goods, add back the closing stock of finished goods, and then we need to add up the total. Going back to my question, I remember in the first part of the question, and they have told me that the expected sales units is 100,000 bars. So I can go and fill that out. So you are now basically taking the information and you are building a puzzle. Then the finished goods opening stock needs to be minused. I'm going back to my question. In note number 3, I have closing stock. So the opening stock of the finished goods was 1,000 bars and the closing stock was 2,500 bars. So what do? I just need to go and fill it in like a puzzle. Again, you need to know management accounting is half studying, half applying. So you need to go and study the templates. But once you know the templates, you have to go and apply the mathematics by seeking the information or the figures and then filling them out. Just again, a quick explanation. Why are we minusing opening stock and adding back closing stock? So we are minusing opening stock because we are trying to calculate how many chocolate bars we will manufacture in this year. If we have opening stock in the warehouse on the first day of the year, we will not be producing those chocolate bars because we already have them in the warehouse ready to be distributed and sold. So we minus it because that's a portion that need not be manufactured. We already have it. If we look at closing stock, we add closing stock. For what reason do we add closing stock? We add closing stock because that's the extra chocolate bars we need to produce above and beyond those that will be sold, so that we have a little bit extra that will be left in the warehouse at the end of this budgeted term, which is 31st December 2021. So we need to make sure that we make a little bit more so that there are some left in the warehouse by the end of the year. So that's why it is added. I'm just going to use the sum function. Of course, you can type it on your calculator. And we need to produce 101,500 chocolate bars for the year ended 31st December 2021. Then I'm moving on to the second step, which is the material purchase budget that is actually required. But if we don't do step 1, we will not be able to complete step 2. So the first introductory line there says production units in step 1. Our answer was this 101,500, so I'm typing it in, 101,500. I need to have enough milk to make 101,500 chocolate bars, and I need enough cacao to make 101,500 chocolate bars in the next year. What is the input that is required for a 1 unit? So in this instance, the unit will be 1 chocolate bar, 1 bar. And if I use the word input, I want to make myself very clear. Input is some kind of metric that we use to measure something. So an input can be a gram, a kilogram, a liter, a meter, a kilometer, a centimeter. It is an input is a mathematical metric of something. So if I look at the milk, the mathematical metric of milk for a bar was given to us in note number 2. They say we need 200 milliliters of milk to make a bar and 300 grams of cacao to make a chocolate bar. I'm going back to my template to fill that out. So I need 200 milliliters and I need 300 grams. I'm just making sure that everything is aligned, otherwise you can't read properly. If I now do the input total calculation, I need to multiply because I need enough 200 milliliters to make 101,500 bars. I need enough 300 grams to make 101,500 bars. So I need to go and multiply. I'm going to say I make 101,500 bars. I need to multiply that by 200 milliliters, and that gives us 20,300,000 milliliters. So it's 20,300,000 milliliters. That's quite a bit of milliliters, of course. Then I'm also going to multiply in order to get to the total input for the cacao. So that's 300 grams times 101,500 production units of bars, and I get 30,450,000. So again, I'm just going to type 30,450,000, and that is grams. Now, in the next step, we need to do our conversion. We said for the conversion, we need to convert to the larger metric that we are faced with. And we need to then convert to the metric in terms of the price, because the price is per liter. The cacao price is per kilogram. So it is a larger measure than the requirement per bar. So we need to do a conversion. How do we do the conversions? Well, I have in the slideshow, if I can quickly show you. In the slideshow, I have included the calculation that needs to be done. So in this instance, for the milk, we are going to from milliliters to liters, right? And then the conversion is you have to divide by 1,000. We are also going from grams to kilograms, where the conversion is you need to divide by 1,000. So it's very, very important that you memorize this metric conversion table. And this table is not just like a once-off that you need to study now and you will never see it again. You will see this in second year. You have to do conversions again and budgets again. In third year, you will do complex budgets. Then if you don't know this metric, you will be in so much trouble and struggle to pass. So it's better for you just to study it already now. You will really, your future self will really thank you for studying this now. Right, so I need to convert, and I have been told the calculation that I need to do. So I need to take the 20,300,000 milliliters, and I need to divide it by 1,000. And that gives me now liters. That's 20,300 liters. For going from grams to kilograms, because I'm converting to the larger measurement, I need to also divide by 1,000. So it's going to be 30,450,000, and I'm going to divide by 1,000, and that's going to give me 30,450. So that's 30,450 kgs. Wonderful. Now we can use our opening and closing material. Again, the opening material and closing material, you will also 99.9% of the time you will find that it is measured in the larger measurement, in the larger metric. So we have opening stock, again, that is minus, because we will not buy milk that we already have. We will not buy cacao that we already have at the beginning of the year. And then we add the closing stock because that's the little bit more we need to keep in the warehouse by the end of this budgetary term. If I go back to the question, I see for milk, the opening is 30 liters and the closing is 40 liters. So I'm filling that in. So it's minus the 30 liters. I'm adding the 40 liters. For the cacao, I need to minus 10 kgs at the beginning, add 15 kgs at the end. I need to add 15, and now let's see. We need to calculate the total input to buy. So how do I get to the total input that I have to buy? So that's the total liters of milk to buy and the total kilograms of cacao to buy. So I'm going to take the 20,300, which is the converted input. I'm going to minus the 30 opening stock. I'm going to add the 40 closing stock. And I need to buy 20,310 liters of milk. 20,310 liters. I'm just retyping it in the metric so that you can follow my explanation. Again, I'm going to take with the cacao, I need to start with the 30,450 kgs of converted input that I've calculated. I need to minus the 10 opening. I need to add back the 15 closing. In other words, I need to buy a total of 30,455 kilograms of cacao. So that's 30,455 kgs of cacao that should be purchased. In the next line item, they ask the price per input. In other words, we want to know what is the price per liter for milk, what is the price per kilogram for cacao. This is a very easy line item because they've already given you the price. They need to tell you the price. You can't guess the price of any product at a certain time, so you need to be told in the question. Going back to the question, it is 12 Rand for milk and 5 Rand for cacao, so we need to fill that in. it's 12 Rand and 5 Rand. Great. Now to get to the total cost, I need to take my final answer of input to buy, the 20,310 liters. I will times it by 12 Rand. And I also need to take the final answer of input to buy, 30,455, and I need to times it by 5 Rand. So that is going to give me 152,275. And please note that this is now in Rand terms. So if I were to now write my answer, I just want you to understand which of the elements are in metric terms, kilograms, liters, meters, and which ones are in Rand. So again, this final answer will be in Rand. So I am just typing it as such. Right. And that is it. That is what your material purchases budget will look like. So the most important aspect to remember is this conversion. You need to remember to go and convert. You will convert to the largest metric, and you will be asked to do this for the rest of your academic career. So please make sure that you go and study the slide on the conversion to know, when do I divide by 100? When do I divide by 1,000? This is very important for you to know and to remember. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I will then see you in the second video, which will explain question 2 on material purchase budgets.